See what kind of sound we get, if any. All right. Last time I got any sort of sound out of here, it was very loud and obnoxious. So here goes nothing. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, I'm back from Cincinnati, and time to solve this magic issue once and for all. Shout out to Eden Stam, my Mr. Miyagi. He suggested that if the manual is correct, the two blue wires are on the wrong spots on J1. And yeah, you know, in a previous video I did move one of those wires over because I kind of was thinking the same thing. But the problem is my manual is just for generic Stern and not exactly magic. But in the interim, I asked for a photo from a couple different people that have magic. So this is Dan Shattuck, shout out. This is his J1 connector. White, blue, then red. And then I noticed, well, I posted on Pinball Enthusiast group asking for a photo, and John Bayer, shout out, sent me a photo of his. White, blue, red. So, therein lies the problem, in theory. Now, I thought that maybe this was pin 1 on this side, but maybe I was looking at this here at one point. But anyway, it's pretty clear on my board that this is pin 1, this is pin 8. Oh yeah, because I moved the blue wire from pin 3 to 6. So yeah, I knew the proper orientation, but the previous guy, he did something funky. I'll show you exactly what he did. So remember, white, blue, and then red is pin 1. This is what is going on my machine. Red, blue, and then white. So basically it's all wrong. Every wire's in the wrong spot. Like, even if I turn this over, it's closer to right, but I still need to swap the red and white. So I think that once I swap these wires around, then we might be in business, and that would be sweet. Then I can start doing some other stuff like the sound wires, which I have another photo. Thank you, Dan Shattuck, or was that John? I don't know. Yeah, I think I got another photo from Dan showing the exact wiring on this. Purple, yellow, and then straight purple where they go. I'm going to cut out this whole connector out of the circuit because I don't have these terminals, and I'm just going to hardwire it because I don't see the need to unplug and replug in the speaker. Most do not have that, so I'm going to tidy this all up. But that's getting a little too far ahead. We got to make sure this is the solution before I can carry on to other things. But if this works, then I can do that, and then I can maybe find a coil, and then we could actually flip this game. So wish me luck. Okay, so here we go. Oh, maybe I can't actually do this one-handed, but I'm gonna try anyway. So I repinned these wires, and you know, actually traditionally the connector goes this way up, not this way, but since I already did that one quote-unquote upside down, it pains me that I have to put this one upside down too, but it is very unimportant and strictly cosmetic. But I will write on these connectors which way is up. I've got my polarizing key in there, so when I am not the owner and someone else owns the machine and is messing around with connections, then hopefully it won't get plugged in incorrectly. Well, you can't really now that there's the keys in there. So it's white and then blue, right? Yeah, white, pin 8, solid blue, then blue, white. So let's do that. White. Yeah, okay. Obviously I don't have enough hands to do this, so I will be right back. Alright, there it is. I guess it's time to turn on the machine. It is plugged in. Let's hope that no fuses blow. I don't want to go down that road again. So the first thing we want to hear is probably this reset, drop target reset solenoid firing, because I believe as soon as you turn on the game, it's probably going to fire that. And yeah, I don't know. Let's just, I'm jumping the gun here, but I do have high hopes. So here it is. 3, 2, 1. No fuses have blown. We're waiting for MPU to boot up. And holy shit, boys and girls. Do you see what I see? Controlled lamps. Boom. Now we need to see if we have solenoids. So let's go into solenoid test. I am very hopeful. This display needs to be reflowed. All right, here we go. Lamp test. Let's take a peek now that we actually have controlled lamps. See what they look like. At one point I was thinking maybe the wrong voltage ended up on the controlled lamps and every single one of them is burnt out, and maybe that's my issue, but that is not the case. All right, next test. I think this might be solenoid test, so come on, baby. No, display test. All right, here we go. Oh, we don't have solenoids. Just the knocker. And I believe, yeah, the flipper relay. So, did we? That scared the crap out of me. Okay, well, we're making progress. I'm going to go into a different test so the knocker doesn't startle me again. So, what do you think this is? Do I need to connect this into the daisy chain? Is this the issue? Definitely one step closer. So that's good news. I'm going to putter around here for a bit, check these fuses, and see what I can find. I will be back. Okay, I just checked the voltages at the rectifier board. They are fine. One new change is that I actually have voltage on my flipper solenoid. That's a first. So check this out. We have flippage, but that and the knocker are the only thing working. So I have to track this down. I don't know if I blew up anything on the solenoid driver board, but I mean, it's showing all good voltages. I got all green LEDs where they're supposed to be. So maybe it's time to repin these connectors. I will dig in a little further and I'll be back. The Internet Pinball Database does not have the proper schematic for the rectifier board. Actually, it doesn't have one at all. But we've already been through this. In the meanwhile, I've asked a couple people for photos of their schematic, and hopefully it is correct. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna check this solenoid for the left flipper. Check the ohms, make sure it's good, and then I'm gonna do my best to tidy it up because I don't think I have another one. Put on new diodes, just in case this somehow is part of the daisy chain. I don't think it is, because flippers are not on the same circuit as the other solenoids, but maybe the voltages are shared somehow. I don't know. but I can at least rule this out while I wait. But I'm not having any luck with solenoids just yet. Well, I was going to check every single last solenoid. I have about 4 bins of these, and I got 2/3 of the way through my first bin, and look what I found. Exact Stern coil that I need. I thought the ohms weren't measuring very good on this, but in hindsight, I think they are okay. The weird thing is I'm getting like 350 ohms on 2 lugs, 350 ohms on 2 lugs, and then 3.6 ohms on the other 2 lugs, the 3 readings, which according to the chart online is correct. But the coil that I have installed in the machine, I get 3.6, 3.6, 3.6 on all 3 readings. So don't know what that all means, but this looks good. This measures the same as this, roughly. Maybe when I install it, then I'll get the same readings as the installed one. I'll clean up this coil a little bit with some rubbing alcohol. It's a little black, but in much better shape than this guy. So I'm going to install this and just see if that makes any difference. And I got to do it anyway, so we'll see what happens. Okay, doesn't that look a lot better than this? Remember, there was 3 wire nuts on that. Didn't need all that extra wire. So now I will test that out and see if we have 3 solenoids, 2 flippers and 1 knocker. Okay, I have some news for you. I kind of jumped the gun and turned on the machine without you looking, but I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. And I'm going to turn on the machine and accidentally look right here as I'm powering up the machine and see that nothing happened. You know why? Because it actually fired the first time I turned it on, but since the drop targets are reset, it does not need to reset again, I guess. So I thought it would do that at the beginning of every power up, but I was wrong. So if that works, it stands to reason that the rest should work. So this did appear to be part of the daisy chain. Well, here we go. Let's get into solenoid test. Lights, displays, and here it is. All right, I think 2 of the 3 pop-uppers worked. The out hole works. Right sling, out hole kicker. Left sling does not work. One of the pop bumpers. Wait, I think I saw the other sling work this time. Okay, I think we're in business, boys and girls. So let's analyze this whole situation quickly from the beginning. The first issue that I had that was causing me great grief was that I put in this connector 1 pin over. That was my fuse gate issue. So that was my own doing. The next issue is that whoever repinned this connector did it wrong. So swapping all the wires to the correct position was the solution to no solenoids and no controlled lamps. But as we learned, you do need to have this circuit complete in order for all the solenoids to get their voltage. So part of the problem was me. Part of the problem was the previous owner or some previous owner. And yeah, we're finally in business. So I am going to wire up the speaker, get us some sound, and we can friggin' play a game. Okay, I've got this all hardwired. And now that I have done that, I realize that I think that I need to actually put a connector on here. To remove the head, I think J3 needs to be removed, and this feeds, speaker stuff feeds off of J3 connector, which feeds up into the head to remove the head. So at least I can test the sound and then deal with the connector later. I do have these 0.63, I think they're 0.63 terminals, but just not for this wire gauge. So I'll order some of these pins up, and then I can put this connector back on at some point. But that is not a high priority right now. What is seeing if we can actually play this game. So let's take this out and let's fire it on. See what kind of sound we get, if any. All right. Last time I got any sort of sound out of here, it was very loud and obnoxious. So here goes nothing. Well, that's the noise I was talking about. Not sure what that all means, but that is definitely not a good sign. So I don't think we're going to be playing with sound, but let me see if we can actually flip a ball around. Give me a moment. All right, let's see what happens here. I'll throw a ball in. I had to put a insert sort of in that hole because if the ball falls in there, it could short some stuff out. The leaf switch to the lamp socket or something. So this doesn't want to fit in very well, so I've kind of turned it into a little ramp. So we'll see how that goes. If the flippers even still work. So let's hit start. Okay, do I have credits? Oh, interesting. The CPU is crashed. Just checking the flashes here, sorry. Okay, we are back in attract mode. Is it gonna lock up on us? Let me see, do I have any credits? Got 18, let's see if I can start a game. All right, we're live. Let's check if that left flipper actually worked. Hey, what do you know? Okay, let's plunge the ball and see what happens. I don't expect a whole lot, but all three pop bumpers actually worked. What do you know? Switches are working. My little ramp isn't working. I'll take that out. We'll try and cram it in even harder. Okay, so let's try and hit a drop target. I find this layout on the right hand side, actually, you know, it's all in all, it's very similar to Nugent. You got stand-ups on the left, Nugent is drops. You got these same drop targets here, same spinner over here. On the left there's a loop to a collect bonus saucer. Let's take a look. I'm going to show you this. This is friggin' Nugent 2.0. Okay, stuff here, loop to a collect bonus, drops here, spinner up here. Okay, let's go over to Nugent and stuff here, flipper here, spinner, loop to a bonus, drop targets. One thing is kind of funny, you got your 3 lanes up here is 2 pop bumpers on top, 1 on the bottom. So they thought they'd mix it up a little bit and go 2 pop bumpers on the bottom and 1 on the top. But this is friggin' Nugent 2.0, or Nugent is Magic 2.0, depending on which one came out first. But let's see what else we got. Sling works. Huh. I thought
Yeah, I did see both things work in solenoid test, but I didn't think all pops worked. These drop targets definitely need a rebuild. M, A, G. How about this guy? We don't know. Can't see the... Oh, I can see bonus is advancing. So that switch works. How about collect bonus? Bonus is being collected as we speak. Spinner. Oh, I can't tell unless I see the score, but that looks like that works. That seems to be doing stuff. Switches here. Okay, we're in pretty good shape. The sound thing is a little bit concerning. I'm not sure what that's all about, but we have magic. Finally, some progress. So next step is going to be send out the old CPU, soundboard, and solenoid driver, and then I will start troubleshooting the sound issue and then working through everything. But we are in a much better place now than we were a few videos ago. Yeah, this is what I like to see. I think this video is fairly short, but sweet. Make sure I got this off. Oh, and Hank didn't come visit tonight. He was here earlier today. I had a few people asking about Hank, the cat, the neighborhood cat. He's a cute little dude and likes to pop in here and there. So maybe we'll catch him on the next one. But for now, magic is somewhat functional. Yay!